What really happened on July 13th and 14th in the Sagaing province that's adjoining India in Myanmar? Well, the Indian government has not come out with an official statement, but we have gathered a lot of data, and by way of reference links, we have given you a lot of references, and here is a small slide deck on what really went down and how China got its butt handed to it by India. Very fascinating story. I want you to watch this thing till the very end, and also please like this video. If you have not already subscribed to our channel, kindly subscribe to our channel. The silent strike, India's ghost operation in Myanmar's insurgent heartland. The interesting thing here is, why did the government of India deny that that operation even took place? I'll come to that in just a moment. Okay, Northeast India, Myanmar, very porous border, hilly forested area, and a lot of insurgency has been happening from across Myanmar into India, whether it is Nagaland, whether it is Manipur, whether it is Mizoram. So you know this has been happening for a long time. I'm hoping that this particular operation that India did not do but happened will essentially fix problems and get some peace for some time at least. Let's see what happens, right? So what led up to this operation also is a fascinating story. Now, what had happened was, if you look at who are in this Sagaing region, there are four big players. Two of them are NSCN with a different letter at the bracket. One is NSCN-K, which is backed by the Roman Catholic Church, and it operates primarily from Myanmar and has long received ideological and logistical support from that church. By the way, I think if I remember correctly, Nagaland is 100% Christian. I'm not 100% sure about that. You may want to check and let me know. I'm reciting from memory, guys, so I could be a little bit wrong. But the whole Northeast is a mess. The other player, NSCN-IM, is aligned with the Baptist Church, which has historical and operational ties to US headquartered Baptist missions and organization. Now you have a Catholic versus Protestant conflict here. Interesting thing is, both of them claim for Naga interests, but their rivalry is something that is seen to be believed. A proxy war being played by two prominent Christian denominations across jungle battlefields. So what happened on the 13th and 14th of July? I'm going to show you the map of where Sagaing region is and why it is so critical that India do what it did there. Something massive and unprecedented took place. No government statement, no military briefings, no news reports, no viral hashtags, just silence. Perhaps it was very loud too. Where is Sagaing province? That is the Sagaing province, and you can see much of the western portion of the Sagaing province is adjoining India, which means it has a common border with many Indian northeastern states. So what happened was not just a counter-insurgency strike, it was a very strong message to China. Why? Well, here is where this thing gets very, very interesting. It was a covert operation. It's one of the most sophisticated, coordinated precision strike, and I'll tell you why it's a precision strike from the what the damage that this operation has inflicted. In 2021, Myanmar had a coup. We all know that, and since then the country has disintegrated into a patchwork of warlord territories and rebel enclaves. Especially the northern part of Myanmar that adjoins China and India, it's completely this every man to himself. Which tribe is more powerful? That's how it has been going. Now, amidst all these things, Sagaing has emerged as a Chinese-backed insurgent sanctuary, and Sagaing is just 600 kilometers from the India's border. In fact, it adjoins India's border in some places. In other places, it is 600 kilometers away. If you come down further south, there, if the furthest point is 600, there are places where it is actually abutting India. Now, the ULFA-I has had a lot of interference, help from Chinese intelligence agencies. There has been a history of Chinese intelligence officers being seen at the ULFA-I camps in Taga. This is one of the areas, and this area, Sagaing province, is primarily controlled by four groups. Remember I told you about that. ULFA Independent, it's a liberation front of ULFA. I told you about the two variations of NSCN, NSCN-K and NSCN-YA, and PLA Manipur. If you go and look for PLA Myanmar. There's some confusion here. Is PLA Manipur the same as PLA Myanmar, or are they different? Well, you tell me, guys. From what I have seen, there is less about PLA Manipur now and more about the People's Liberation Army of Myanmar. It is all believed to be a front that has been funded by China. It doesn't matter. Basically, they are here to try and create trouble, and they are getting paid by China. Now, what happened was in 2015, China actually brought all these entities together to form what is called as United National Liberation Front of Western Southeast Asia, whose sole objective was to bleed India while carefully ensuring China's own borders remain untouched. Because if you look at the Sagaing province on the northern part, there's a bit of China there too. So the first one was that creation of UNLWFA. Second one is the trigger. Dalai Lama turned 90. The Union Minister Kiren Rijiju attended it. He's from Arunachal Pradesh. Also, there was a statement made by the Chief Minister of Arunachal Pradesh, Pema Khandu, that India's border is with Tibet, not with China. And suddenly, Indian intel picks up encrypted chatter from Sagaing. What is it? Weapons are mobilized, targets are shared, a coordinated strike on India is imminent. Imminent. It's about any time. Meanwhile, Dr. Jaishankar, India's foreign minister, was scheduled to meet Xi Jinping on the 14th, a classic dual play. Remember, I did one episode on this, that every time there's a meeting, China will do something first on India's borders and then they'll try to explain it away, saying that we'll take care of it, it won't happen again, that sort of rhetoric. So looks like China wanted to do the same thing before this meeting. Although one can say, look, Xi Jinping not only met with India's foreign minister, he met with all the foreign ministers who were part of the SCO. Yes, but when you are being caught with your hand in the cookie jar in Operation Sindoor, where you tucked your tail between your legs and ran away, and your presence has been exposed and it has been shown that your weapons are up to no good, there is a special significance when India's foreign minister goes to shake hands with Xi Jinping. So what India decided to do was, okay, 14th is the meeting, let us do this damage first. Before China does it to us, let's go and take them out. So the strike that never existed, Act 3, happened from the shadows of Chabua Air Base. Heron TP drones, armed and AI controlled, dipped across Arunachal's hilly jungle border into Myanmar's Sagaing region. Let me show you the map again so you understand where that is. Here you go. So this is the northernmost part. I hope you can see my mouse. So this is where the operation took place. Let's move fast forward again. No boots on the ground, no lines crossed, no sound. In a matter of minutes, ULFA-I leadership was vaporized, UNLFW camps were reduced to ash, and their armed depots and training centers were completely annihilated. All of it was orchestrated through satellites, algorithms, and silent fury, and no Indian soldiers were lost. No official statements were issued. Why the silence, one might ask? Why did the Indian government not say a word? Well, India doesn't clap after it slaps, because silence, when wielded right, stings more than sound. I mean, there is a saying in Tamil, guys, Thirudanukku tel kottuna madri. That means when a thief comes to rob your house, there's a scorpion hiding in your attic and it stings the thief. What's the thief going to do? Right? That is the kind of situation that China finds itself in. While news anchors argued about celebrity gossip and social media trended meaningless noise, India ended a war before it began. What's the damage? 3 dead field commanders, a failed proxy operation, and a chilling message. We see you, we hear you, we are one step ahead. That is what China has been given as message. Now, there are broader implications from this Jan 13th, 14th strike. What are the broader implications? Myanmar is not an isolated incident. It's a product of decades of covert conflict, and this has been going on for a long time. Now, what has happened is, with US also trying to get a foothold in, it has become a proxy battleground. And this is now going to invite perhaps even other players come in. So how India stays on top of its game, manages to contain this is going to be very crucial. Religious militancy backed by global religious networks continue to shape local insurgency dynamics. You can still say, well, if Indian government doesn't acknowledge, then perhaps it never happened. Well, satellite pictures don't lie. Ask yourself this question: what other operations are unfolding beyond our screens? What plans are being hatched while the world scrolls by unaware? This is just not a single military op. This was a digital age war game that, if once India has its ducks lined up, it's going to execute ruthlessly and efficiently. Now, if this was silence, one wonders what would noise look like. Well, we'll leave it at that. Take a look at the reference links to get a better perspective on what's happening. And by way of comments, please do share. We have not had a chance to look at the vernacular dailies about what happened. We would like to know if there are other stories about this incident, because this has been shrouded in mystery. I hope you guys found your time useful watching this video, and if you did, please share this thing among your friends and family using social media networks. Thanks once again. Namaskar.